It's GameCube Index, and I still don't care what a wave dash is. Well, folks, we've done it. We're finally done with November 18th, 2001. And while the North American launch of the GameCube had one of the best squads of all time, something greater was looming on the horizon in the East. That's right, 3 days later, Super Smash Bros. Melee would rise up and take the entire world by storm. A jam-packed fighting game starring a giant cadre of characters, it would sell more than 7 million copies, becoming the best-selling GameCube game of all time. But it didn't start out that way. Melee was the first sequel to the highly popular Nintendo 64 title, Super Smash Bros., and would start as a stressful project helmed by series creator Masahiro Sakurai. Sakurai reportedly took 0 holidays and had limited weekends off during the 13-month development cycle, and described himself as living a destructive lifestyle during this time, as he felt a tremendous amount of pressure to deliver a top-quality sequel to the series. A flagship feature of Melee was the graphical improvements it made in comparison to the first title, thanks to the improved power of the GameCube. The opening FMV of the game was created solely to demonstrate the powerful new graphics that the system was capable of, and HAL Laboratory worked with 3 different graphics houses in Tokyo in order to create it. Every single character from the first Smash Bros. Title returned, in addition to 13 new characters. Ness was originally going to be replaced with Lucas, but that idea was shelved until 2008's Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as was the inclusion of Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Marth and Roy from the Fire Emblem series were also intended to be Japanese-only characters, as no Fire Emblem titles had yet been released outside of Japan, but they proved so popular during localization that they remained for the international release. In addition to more characters, there were also more items, stages, and game modes for players to enjoy. This was also the first title in the series to include collectible trophies, which included information about the character or item that was depicted, and could be viewed in a special gallery mode. Trophies were incredibly addicting to collect, and would become a standard inclusion into future entries of the series. The music in the game was mostly curated from various Nintendo franchises that the fighters represent, and remains one of the best collections of Nintendo music available. This video was written and edited with the game playing in the background, and it was a great experience. My personal history with Melee is not a very long one. I never owned a copy myself while I was growing up, and as such, I dropped many more hours into the Nintendo 64 title instead. However, I remember being very excited about collecting trophies as well as playing as Marth and Roy. I had no idea what a Fire Emblem was, but being a teenager obsessed with Zelda and Lord of the Rings led me to developing an affinity for sword-wielding characters, and these were 2 that I'd never seen before. I will also say this, Mewtwo is a terrible character and continues to be one in Smash 4. I refuse to be swayed on this. Going back to Melee, and both playing it extensively as well as doing research on it, the thing that surprised me the most was how close to launch it was released. I guess in my mind I always considered that it had come out much later into the life of the GameCube. I never realized that it was right at the start of it. This just goes to show how solid of a game that it really was. From being a launch title, a sequel to a crazy brand experiment, and having a very rough development cycle, to becoming one of the pillars of the eSports industry. Melee would become one of the top competitive fighting games of all time, and was still included in the Evolution Championship Series in 2015, a decade and a half after its initial release, further proving that the community is still incredibly passionate about the game and its more high-profile players. It is still widely regarded as the greatest entry in the Smash Bros. Series, with even Sakurai looking back and saying that Melee was the sharpest game in the series, it just felt really good to play. My own personal play preferences aside, Super Smash Bros. Melee holds a well-deserved place at the top of the GameCube's rankings, both in sales and reception. Not many console-based, offline-only games can keep such energetic communities going for so many years, and that's something worth noting. That's it for this episode of GameCube Index. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe for more videos from the GameCube library, and feel free to send me your feedback, or follow me on Twitter at Jeff Girardin. Tune in on Twitch as well, where I stream the capture process while making the next videos. Tune in next time when we crash through the sound barrier in Extreme G3.